Good morning, friends. Welcome back again. Yesterday we discussed about the relationship between the alpha DC and beta DC. Recall again. So, alpha DC is nothing but beta DC divided by 1 plus beta DC, and beta DC is nothing but alpha DC divided by 1 minus alpha DC. So, finally, we got these equations, that is nothing but the relationship of the alpha DC and beta DC. Let us see an example for the to calculate the alpha DC and the beta DC. So there are two examples are given. So find the alpha DC for each of the following values of the beta DC, that is equal to 50 and 190. Second point, find the beta DC for each of the following alpha DC equal to 0.995 and 0.9765. So alpha DC is equal to beta DC divided by 1 plus beta DC. Beta DC is 50 and alpha DC is 50 divided by 1 plus 50. Put in this equation. You will get 0.9804. So beta DC for 190, you will get, again put it here in the values, you will get the alpha DC equal to 0.9947. Similarly, the beta DC is given by alpha DC divided by 1 minus alpha DC. So alpha DC is given by 0.995 and beta DC you can put here and you will get 199. So again for alpha DC of next value, that is a 0.765. So beta DC will get 41.55. So this is alpha DC equation, this is a beta DC equation. You have to put the values here and find the alpha DC and beta DC. Next example, if IB, this is IB in a transistor is 20 microamps and emitter current, that is IE, is equal to 6.4 milliamps, you have to find alpha DC and beta DC and collector current. So IE, already we know it is a sum of IB plus IC. So we can put here IB plus IB beta DC. This IC is, we can put as a IB beta DC, because the beta DC is equal to IC divided by IB. Okay, then IB 1 plus beta DC. So beta DC plus 1 equal to IE by IB. So there we will get the beta DC 319. So next again alpha DC equal to beta DC divided by 1 plus beta DC. Put the values of this beta DC here, you will get 0.9968. IC is equal to beta DC into IB. Already know the beta DC is equal to IC divided by IB. So from that we are getting this one. So IC, put here the beta DC and IB. IC is 6.38 milliamps. So here if you put IC equal to alpha DC into IE, there are two equations here. First one is this IC and second one, by use of the alpha DC also you can find the IC. So that is 6.379. Are you getting? There are two ways. One is the IC equal to beta DC into IB. There also we are getting the IC. And second way, IC you can find by alpha DC into IE. By putting the IE here and alpha DC, you will find the collector current IC, and this is a collector current IC. Okay, so this is a solution for the second example. Yesterday we seen the two configurations. We discussed two configurations called as a common base configuration, their input and output characteristics, the input dynamic resistance and output dynamic resistance we have seen for the common base, and also we have discussed about the common emitter configuration There we also we discussed about the input and output characteristics of the common emitter configuration, which is a widely used configuration compared to these two, and we have found the common emitter configuration is widely used because of some reasons that we are going to discuss after the discussing about the common collector configuration. Now coming to the third configuration called as a common collector configuration. Here you can observe the circuit for the common collector configuration for NPN. So this is the NPN because the arrow is outside. Here we have the VBB plus minus base collector emitter VCC plus minus. Here you can observe that the common collector configuration is similar to common emitter configuration. So load resistance is emitter circuit, output is taken from the emitter instead of collector. What we are doing here in a common collector configuration, which is similar to the common emitter, a load resistance, instead of connecting to the collector, the load resistance we are connecting to the emitter. So that is shown here in this figure. The figure is called as a common collector configuration. Here you can see the input. This is the VBB, this is the IB, the direction of the base current. Then this is the minus and the plus of the VCB. Then here we have the plus and minus VBE, the voltage developed across base and emitter, the voltage developed across base and collector. You can see the collector current here, plus VCC is connected to the collector, IC direction, collector current. Here you can see, this is the important here. Here we are connecting the resistance instead of connecting to the collector. We are taking the output from this resistor in the common collector. So please remember, this is the emitter current IE and this is the output voltage. This is the input and this is the output voltage. So that is a change in between the common collector and the common emitter configuration. So let us see what are the inputs voltages and what are the input currents and output voltage and output current. Input for the common collector configuration is a VCB and the output voltage is a VCE and the input current is a IB and output current is IE. IB is nothing but the base current and IE is the output. Here you can see this is the IB, this is the input current, and here you can see output emitter current. So these are the currents, input current and output current. Input voltage is VCB. This is the input voltage VCB and the output voltage is a VCE. Here we are getting the output voltage called as a VCE. Okay, so this is arrangement of the common collector configuration. So coming to the next page, the DC current gain, that is the ratio of emitter current to the base current. Emitter current is nothing but the output current and the IB nothing but the base current is the input. So that is equal to 1 plus beta DC. So this is the DC current gain. Okay, so current gain in a common emitter and common collector are same. Please remember the current gain is same. So what are the input resistance and the output resistance? In common collector, input collector base, that is in RB and reverse bias, nothing but the reverse bias, and the junction at output, nothing but at the emitter and base is forward bias. In common collector, input collector base means collector base is in reverse bias, collector base, Here you can see the collector and this is the base is a reverse bias, and emitter and base. This is the emitter and this base. In between this is a forward bias. So this is the arrangement for the common collector configuration. This configuration has very high input resistance Ri and low output resistance. The input resistance of this configuration is very high, and it has low output resistance R0. Ri R0, already we have seen the Ri and R0 is nothing but what? Input dynamic resistance, and R0 is a output dynamic resistance. Some point to remember for the common collector: the larger current gain than the CB, it has the common collector configuration has larger current gain than CB. CB means common base configuration. Has high input impedance, very low output impedance, and the applications for the common collector is as a impedance matching. Okay, we are the application called as a impedance matching. The current gain is high and voltage gain is unity. So that is a one more what you say, the application as a buffer, because the current gain is high and voltage gain is unity. Current gain is high and voltage gain is unity. So for this we can use the as a other application called as a buffer. So there are two applications of the common collector. One is as a impedance matching and as a buffer. Okay, so this is about the common collector. Now let us see some points why the common emitter configuration is widely used. Why the common emitter configuration is widely used. There are some points to remember. Common emitter provides both voltage and current gain greater than unity. Please remember, in common emitter configuration we have the voltage gain and current gain both are greater than unity. These two we are not able to have in the common base and common collector configuration. So in common base configuration, current gain is less than unity but the voltage gain is greater than unity. In common collector configuration, voltage gain is less than unity but the current gain is greater than unity. So these are the some problems associated with common base and common collector. There is one more parameter called as a power gain. So power is nothing but a product of the voltage gain and current gain, which is high. The power gain is very high in common emitter configuration. Okay, the ratio of output resistance to the input resistance is small. So ratio of output resistance to the input resistance is small. So we can use the common emitter configuration as a coupling. The coupling is one of the important parameter to connect more than one amplifier one by one or one stage to other stage. If you have the multiple stage of the amplifiers, so each amplifier is made up of common emitter configuration. So we want to connect the common emitter configuration to the next common emitter configuration, means output of the first stage is connected to the input to the of the second stage amplifier made up of common emitter. Is it clear? So these are some of the points to remember for the common emitter configuration which is widely used. So coming to the, after discussing the parameters and different configuration such as common emitter, common base and common collector, their input output characteristics, now let us see how the transistor can be used as a current amplifier. So I already given an assignment. There you can see I have asked the transistor as a current amplifier. So here you can see this circuit. This circuit is for current amplifier. Again observe, this is the VBB. This is a common emitter configuration because this emitter is common to the collector and the base. This is the base, this is the emitter, this is the collector. Here you can see we have the IB, that is the input base current, plus or minus IB. Plus or minus IB means change in IB. Then here you can see the RC, current limiting resistor, connected to the collector. Then you can see the VCC plus minus. Here we have the VBB plus minus, and the IC plus or minus delta IC. Here you can observe current amplifier means the current have to be amplified, or we have to provide the strength to the low input current. What is amplifier? Amplifier is nothing but a circuit which amplifies or gives the strength to the low input current. So the current is very low and we want to amplify the current, and we have to get at the output. So that is, here you can see IE plus or minus delta IE, emitter current, this is the collector current, this is the base current. Okay, so there is a current gain that is given by the beta DC, again equal to IC by IB. The base to collector, let us see the base to collector. The IB is small and IC is large. They relate with beta DC. IB is small here and the IC is large. Here what we have the IC here, IC is large. They relate with this beta DC. This is the equation beta DC. So IB is here, IC is there. The ratio of IC by IB, the ratio of IC by IB is called as beta DC. So a small change in IB, nothing but the delta IB, small change. If you are changing the input current at the base, that small change in the base here causes a very large change of the current in IC here. IC means collector current. There is large change in the IC here. So that is the concept here. So that change in the base current and the change in the collector current is nothing but given by a one more equation called as a beta AC, that is equal to IC by IB. Here you can see IC and IB, both you can see here. IC is in a small subscript, you can see I and C. C is written in subscript, lower subscript here. Okay, and B also you can observe compared to here. This is a constant beta DC. This is for DC. This is for beta DC for AC. AC means change. If there is a change, you can observe, then it is called as a beta AC. There is no change for a fixed values, we have the beta DC. So IC by IB. C is in a capital, B is also capital. So here you can observe this C is a lower subscript and this B is also lower subscript. So beta AC is equal to IC divided by IB. So beta AC is nothing but the alternating current gain and IC is nothing but the AC collector current and IB is nothing but the AC base current. Both you have to write in a lower subscript. So please remember, this is called the current gain for AC. This is the current gain for AC. Simply what we are doing, the change in IB makes the very large change in the collector current. So that is nothing but the current amplification. Okay, and also the current gain is also called as a HFE. The other name for this current gain is HFE. Okay, so that is a current amplification circuit and the explanation. Now coming to let us see the one more application of the transistor as a voltage amplifier. We have seen the current amplification. Now let us see the transistor as a voltage amplifier. Refer this circuit again. This is again NPN transistor named as a Q1. This is the emitter, this is the base, this is the collector. RB, current limiting resistor. The direction of the IB is here. This is the RC of the 10 kilo ohms, and the direction of the collector current, that is IC here. The direction of IB, that is the base current, is here. Okay, one more thing, plus minus VCC is connected and the plus minus VBB is connected. The VBB is nearly 0.7 volts. Remember, VBB is equal to 0.7 volts. Okay, because of this, in a RC, current limiting resistor, connected to the collector region, we have this IC into RC, plus and minus, and we have the voltage developed called as a VCC again with the plus and minus. You can see the VCC polarities plus and minus. Okay, so this is a 10K, and you can see the collector current here, that is a IC here, this is the IB, this is the emitter current, and their direction, that is downwards. Because of that, there is a voltage is here called as a VB. Please remember, this is the VB is here. This is very important. VB, VBB 0.7 volts, and here we have the VCC. One more, that is a VI. So here you can see VI, nothing but the input signal. Here we are applying a input signal, that is the voltage. I stands for input, V is the voltage. This input voltage we have to amplify and get the output here in this circuit. So that is a amplification of the voltage in the transistor amplifier. So remember, transistor circuit with the base bias. Again, we are discussing next what are the different biasing techniques. So here this is the example of the base bias. So we have to give the bias to the transistor to operate stably and faithfully. Okay, so this is the example. Please remember, this is the example for the base bias, one of the technique of the biasing of the transistor. And a signal generator. Okay, here we are assuming the beta DC is equal to 100. Okay, beta DC is equal to 100. Base bias, this one, nothing but the VBB is of nearly how much? 0.7 volts. And forward bias, the base and emitter is in a forward bias junction. The AC signal source, the voltage what we want to hear, amplify, have to connect here in series with the VBB. You can see the VBB is in series with the input voltage, the signal what we want to amplify here. So that amplification of the signal we have to done by using this circuit, and for amplification we require the input signal, and the input signal is here, nothing but the VI, input voltage. This is the input voltage, nothing but the AC signal source VI in series with the VBB. And this changing, this is the AC means we are changing this Vi with respect to plus minus 10 volts. There is a change in voltage or in the input signal here, that is nothing but Vi plus minus 10 millivolts. Okay, so now observe the Vi characteristics versus Vi characteristics of the amplifier for the voltage amplification. So these characteristics shows the VBE versus IB. So IB is here in y-axis and VB is in a x-axis. 5, 10, 15, 20 is a base current in microamps, and the VBE 0.1. So here you can see 0.6, 0.7, 0.8. At IB, so IB we have the different values. This IB for the 20 means IB 20 microamps, VB equal to VBB plus VI. So 0.7 plus VI. VI is the input AC voltage. So we have to add with 0.7 for the 20. Second case, for IB equal to 15 microamps. So VB equal to VBB, and for IB equal to 10 microamps, IB at VB equal to VBB minus VI. Are you getting? We have the three conditions here. For IB, different values of IB 10, 15, 20. For 10, VBB minus VI. VBB is here. So this VBB minus VI is here for IB equal to 10. For IB equal to 15, this VB is equal to VBB. VB is equal to VBB. And for 20 microamps, VB equal to this VB. Voltage developed across this circuit called the VBB is equal to VBB plus VI. This VBB means 0.7 plus input voltage, AC input voltage VI plus. Okay, so this curve shows the different three conditions of the VI, that is input, and their output with respect to VBE. So let us see the three conditions, how the amplification take place of the voltage. Let us assume the Vi is equal to plus or minus 10 millivolts. Beta DC, again already we discussed, is the ratio of IC by IB. Here beta DC IC by IB. There are three conditions. Condition 1, so Vi equal to 0 means there is no input voltage. At that time, okay, let us see the three conditions one by one, what we discussed now. So Vi is equal to 0 means there is no input applied. So VB equal to VB, so 0.7, already I have told the VBB is equal to 0.7, and IB is equal to 15 microamps. Here you can see the 15 microamps, this one. So 15 microamps IB, so VB equal to VBB, VB equal to VBB for 15 when there is no input applied. So IC is given by 15 microamps into 100. Are getting? So this equation is nothing but IC equal to IB into beta DC. Here already I have told beta DC is equal to IC by IB. So IC is here. So this IB into beta DC. So here put the value IB, already we know it is 15 microamps, and beta DC already I have told it is 100. So it will give 1.5 microamps. So we are getting 1.5 microamps as a collector current. So condition 2, let us see, we have the input minus 10 millivolts, minus 10 millivolts. Now we have the input applied AC, it is alternating, means positive and negative half cycles. So it is a negative half cycle, it is a 10 minus 10 millivolts, minus 10 millivolts. So VB is equal to VBB minus VI. So 0.7 minus 10 millivolts, that gives 0.69 volts. So IB, again for the second condition already I have told, it is a 10. So this one here, observe here, it is a 10, IB is 10. So VB equal to VBB minus VI. So that we are doing here, we are finding the values here for the VB. So the VB is equal to VBB minus VI for the IB equal to 10 microamps. So 0.7 minus 10 millivolts equal to 0.69 volts. So IC we are getting, so VB is we are getting 0.69 volts. So put here again IC equal to 10 microamps, this is the IB into beta DC 100. So what we are getting, 1 milliamps. So here you can see 1 milliamps is a IC, 1.5 milliamps is a IC. Okay, so condition 3, BI is equal to plus 10 millivolts. Or getting, this is the minus, now here it is a plus 10 millivolts. So again VB is equal to VBB plus VI. Here you can see we have the minus and here we are adding it plus. So VB is equal to 0.7, VBB is already told, VB is equal to 0.7 plus VI is a plus 10 millivolts, we are getting 0.71 volts. So IB, how much is considering, 20 microamps. Here you can see this one. Okay, so 20 microamps. So this 20 microamps we are putting here into again beta DC, which I already told it is a 100. So we are getting 10 milliamps. So 10 milliamps, 2 milliamps. 2 milliamps. So 2 milliamps, 1 milliamp and 1.5 milliamps. So these are the three currents we are getting for the different conditions. Now IC or change in IC is 2 milliamps minus 1 milliamp. So here we are getting 1 milliamp plus or minus VI, that is nothing but 20. How much is the change? Minus 10, 0 plus 10. So total change of the IB, not the IB, it is a VI, is how much? Is 20 millivolts total change here. Therefore delta VC equal to delta IC into RC. RC is nothing but the current limiting resistor connected to the collector. So delta VC is how much? 1 milliamps, that we are getting here, 2 milliamps minus 1 milliamp. So 1 milliamp. How much is the change we have observed here in this 0.5, 1 and 2? How much change we are observed in a collector current? So from 1 to 2. So maximum is a 2 and 1. So 2 minus 1 is this is a change in the collector current, 1 milliamps. So delta VC is means change in voltage is equal to delta IC here 1 and RC, nothing but the resistance connected to the collector in the circuit, this one. Okay, so that is 10K. Here you can observe 10 kilo ohms. So that 10K ohms we are connecting here. So you can see here 10 volts. So this is the applied, we are getting the 10 volts. There is a change in the voltage. So this concept is nothing but the amplification of voltage in a transistor. So the gain that is given by AB, so that is equal to change in VC to change in VB, VC to VB equal to change in VC to change in input. So how much? 10. VC already we found 10 volts. VI is how much? 20. So we are getting 500. So 500. So 500 is a voltage gain. So that voltage gain is a 500 for this voltage amplifier. The output voltage is greater than input voltage is voltage amplifier. So here you can see again the AV is equal to V0 by VI. V0 is output voltage, VI is the input voltage. So this ratio is called as a voltage gain. Okay, so this is about the circuit for the transistor used as a what we say, as a voltage amplifier. Okay, now let us see, coming to the last topic of the transistors called as a bias. So bias is nothing but a concept is required to operate the transistor in the different regions, means active region, cutoff region and saturation region, whatever we discussed. We have to apply external DC voltages of correct polarities and magnitude to the two junctions of a transistor. We have to apply external DC, already seen VBB and VCC, some of the example. So there are three types of biasing is present in our transistors: for the fixed bias circuit, collector base bias circuit and the voltage divider bias circuit. There are three types of biasing. So fixed bias is the first one, and the collector base bias circuit second one, voltage divider bias is a third one. So these are some of the equations given for a fixed bias. IB is equal to VCC minus VBE by RB, and the VCE is given by VCC minus ICRC. Okay, and the second type of bias is a collector base bias. Already we have discussed about the base bias in the last topic. So the same base bias circuit you can draw for the base bias circuit. Okay, so IB is equal to VCC minus VBE divided by RB plus 1 plus beta into RC, and VCE equal to VCC minus IB plus IC into RC. So these are the equations for the base bias circuit. Next, third one is a voltage divider bias, which is a widely used biasing technique. So that in that we are getting the IB equal to VT minus VBE divided by RB plus 1 plus beta RE. Please remember these are the equations for the voltage divider bias. Then VC is given by VCC minus IC RC minus VE RE, where VT is a Thevenin's voltage. Thevenin's voltage is given by this VT, and that is equal to R2 divided by 1 plus R2 into VCC. So let us see, this is our syllabus. In our syllabus we have the voltage divider bias, and remaining you have to study yourself. Already I told the base bias, and this you have to go through it. Okay, let us see in this detail voltage divider bias. The voltage divider bias circuit, here you can see this one, the voltage divider bias circuit. Here the R1, R2, RC, RE. We have the four resistors, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it is called as a voltage divider because the potential between these two we are dividing between the collector and base by using the R1 and R2. Here you can see this is the VI, again the input voltage, this is the output voltage, two capacitors here and here. This is the NPN transistor, again here we have the VCE, the emitter current, IC collector current, this is the current limiting resistor of the collector, this is the R1, R2, here we have the current in the R1 plus IB. IB is a base current and the current because of this R1. Again here R2, a current is flowing called as a I in this direction, and here you can see the VB is developed between the emitter and base called as VBE by plus and minus polarities. Okay, so VC is developed across the collector and emitter is called as VCE. Here you can see voltage across collector and emitter, means this is the collector and this is the emitter. Okay, so this is the circuit for the voltage divider bias circuit. So point to be noted here, the bias is provided by, as I told, R1, R2 and RE. R1 and R2 act as a potential divider, gives the fixed bias to the base. Here we have to give the fixed bias. What happening here, the IC, this collector current, changes or fluctuate because of the temperature and because of the beta, change in beta. So change in beta and change in temperature causes the change in IC, which indirectly causes the change in VCE, and which indirectly causes the change in VBE, and which indirectly causes the change in IB, and IB change again indirectly affects the IC. So this is present, this phenomenon is present here. So that I was shown here, the IC change causes the change in the IC varies or changes because of the change in temperature or in beta. So IE also changes or increases. If the IC fluctuate, IE also fluctuate because of temperature and beta. And voltage drop across the RE here, as I told here, RE is also increases, which reduces the voltage difference between this VBE. Okay, simply the temperature and beta plays an important role, which makes the change in IC here. That we have to avoid. What is the biasing? We have to biasing is used to provide the stability, to give the stability to the circuit. But here you can see there are changes or fluctuation is there in the circuit. That fluctuation we have to remove by using the proper arrangement of the circuit called as R1 and R2. Okay, so the reduction in VBE, and that again reduces the IB and reduces the IC. So this reduction in VBE, which causes the reduction in IB and reduction in IC, collector current, is called as a negative feedback. Okay, this phenomena of the reduction is called as a negative feedback. Okay, so we have the positive feedback and the negative feedback that we are going to study in the part 2 of the transistor. Now remember the change in VBE, reduction VBE causes a reduction in IB and reduction in IC. So this concept of the reduction in the parameters is called as a negative feedback. The reduction in the collector current IC compensate for the original change in IC. So now what we have to do? How much is the reduction is in IC? That change or the reduction in IC we have to compensate to get the original IC. If the IC is changed here, so how much change is there? That change we have to compensate so as to get again to the original IC. So that is the point here. Please remember. Now we have to simplify the circuit. What we've seen here, the voltage divider. So this is simplified circuit of the voltage divider. What we are doing here, instead of R1 and R2, the R1 and R2 is in parallel. So this R1 parallel with R2, nothing but the RB. Instead of using the R1 and R2, what we are doing, the equivalent RB we are connecting here. Here you can see this is RB, which is nothing but R1 parallel to R2. This is equal to R1 parallel to R2. Again we have the IC here, then IE, then VBE in the circuit, and BT here. We are replacing the here what we seeing, the input IE, BE and VBE, all were replaced with the a voltage equivalent called as Thevenin's voltage. So this is a Thevenin's equivalent circuit for the voltage divider. There you can see here. Okay, so as I told, VT we are replacing, and VT is nothing but the Thevenin's voltage. So Thevenin voltage is equal to VCC R2 divided by R1 plus R2, VCC. Okay, so VCC R2. Okay, Then RB is equal to R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Then nothing but the parallel combination of the resistance. What we are doing, we are applying the KVL, Kirchhoff voltage law, towards the here base circuit, and also Kirchhoff voltage law in the collector. So how we are applying here, you can see here the applying the Kirchhoff voltage law KVL. So VT is equal to IB RB plus VBE plus IE RE. So IB we are getting VT minus VBE divided by RB plus 1 plus beta RE. Already I have told this equation. So this equation we are getting from applying the Kirchhoff voltage law to the base circuit, means here in this circuit we are applying the Kirchhoff voltage law. Second time we have to apply the Kirchhoff voltage law, apply Kirchhoff law to the collector circuit, means here in this circuit we have to apply the Kirchhoff voltage law. So after applying the Kirchhoff voltage law, what will get? VCC minus IC RC minus VCE minus IE RE equal to 0. So if you simplify this equation, we are getting VCE equal to VCC minus IC RC minus IE RE. Okay, so this is about the voltage divider circuit of the transistor. From this we have completed all the transistor concepts of the model 2's first chapter. Okay, next class I want to start the op amps, that is the model 3's first chapter. Okay, thank you.